spotlighting Irene by saying she has classic features and a soft inner beauty. By now, fame was right at the doorstep of this young starlet. After the success of Sparkle, Irene began private recording sessions and singing backup vocals for major artists such as Vicki Sue Robinson, George Duke, and many others. She also began making more television appearances during this time in commercials and various sitcoms. Most notable was the very popular What's Happening, in which she was cast as Rerun's illegal immigrant girlfriend.
I'm glad you're my friend, Rerun.
Well, you're easy to like.
Do you mean that?
I mean it, Maria. I'd do anything for you.
You would?
Sure, anything.
There is some things you could do that would help me very much.
Hey, you name it, Maria. You want to go to a movie? You want to go to the beach? You want a soda? You just name it.
I want you to marry me.
In a more dramatic turn, she received her first important role in Roots: The Next Generations as Bertha Palmer Haley, mother of Roots author Alex Haley. Irene received rave reviews in the sequel to the mega-hit miniseries.
It only seemed like there was always something trying to keep us apart.
Too often. Much too often.
I missed you so when you were in the army. So I traveled to Chicago before you went overseas.
You know, I just had to send for you.
Remember that party in Chicago? At your friend Doxy's?
We only had that one night together.
It's so crowded. Can't we go out on the fire escape? Alex? Promise me you'll visit Mama. You know how she loves the boys.
I promise.
She was also reunited with her Sparkle co-stars Philip Michael Thomas and Dorian Harewood, who portrayed her husband Simon Haley, who went on to win an Emmy Award for his portrayal of Olympic legend Jesse Owens. Shortly after the completion of Roots, she kept busy with other projects. Then Irene's agent Selma Rubin received a call from writer-producer Christopher Gore and renowned director Alan Parker about considering her for a role in their upcoming film about the pressures and struggles of aspiring teens of New York City's famed School of Performing Arts, a school Irene considered as a high school option a few years earlier, but decided against it. Parker wanted Miss Cara for the role of Coco Hernandez, a multiracial, super talented ball of fire.
They're like in summer trade, if we get ourselves together in time.
No, I'm really not interested.
There's tea dances and parties like on Long Island, weddings and bar mitzvahs. Those things where people are always getting married and growing up, you know.
Look, I don't need a house.
I'll take care of everything, just like a regular business manager, you know. I'll look after the bookings, travel arrangements, costume design for 10% off the top. Then a straight split of the performing cut.
What costume design?
Nothing fancy, just sequins and stuff. See through something for me, you know. Maybe low cut. We gotta give them visuals. I mean, the sound might be wicked, baby, but when you get right down to it, it's book band.
I think I'll stay in my basement.
Bruno, this is our big chance, man. Don't you want success?
Sure. I just don't think our tits are up to it.
The role not only required acting and dancing, but singing and playing the piano as well. The role seemed to be tailor-made for the 20-year-old multi-talented Cara. Little did she know that taking the part of Coco would forever change her life. Rehearsals began in the fall and winter of 1979. Vigorously training and performing, Irene was commissioned to perform 2 solos in the film. Written by musical director Michael Gore and his sister, 60s teen pop star Leslie Gore, the title cut Fame and Out Here on My Own, along with singing alongside an ensemble cast on the film's soundtrack album. Fame was released in the fall of 1980 with much fanfare and anticipation. The single Fame was released simultaneously with the motion picture, which created a phenomenon. Fame t-shirts and leg warmers began appearing all over the country, and performing arts schools started opening up in every major city. The film received mixed reviews but continued to be a top seller at the box office. The single flew to the top of the Billboard charts and was flying all through the airwaves. It became an anthem to all inspiring young artists all over the country. Radio stations continuously played the song, which peaked at number 4 on the pop charts. It remained in the top 20 for a record 10 weeks. Fame, the song, was a bona fide hit, along with the follow-up single Here on My Own. It made the soundtrack album more popular and the film more visible. The catchphrase, "Remember My Name," rang true when the 20-year-old Irene was thrust into the limelight and shined brighter than any other cast member.
You have a natural rapport with the camera, you know that? It's unbelievable. I mean, you know, some performers can make love to the camera. I mean, Garbo did. Monroe did. So could you.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Could you take your top off, please?
What?
Could you take your blouse off?
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. What's the matter? You're acting like some dumb school kid all of a sudden. I thought you were a professional.
I am.
Well, then what's the problem?
I can't.
In the midst of an ensemble cast, Irene's screen time was actually one of the least of all, but her powerhouse performance received the most recognition. The gate was opened, and she kicked the dust off her heels and leaped out in front like a racehorse. The wheels of the Irene machine were in full motion, and she took no prisoners. Pretty soon, Irene began popping up all over the place, on talk shows, variety shows, magazine covers, and in news articles. Everyone remembered her name. Even Saturday Night Live did a parody of her in a musical skit called Same, I'll Sing the Same Song Forever, which in itself is considered an honor in the industry. As awards time came around, Irene performed on every major awards ceremony in the winter and spring of 1981. Singing the 2 multi-nominated songs and even garnered several nominations herself. Fame the movie won Best Original Screenplay, Best Motion Picture Score, and was the first film in Oscar history to have 2 songs nominated from the same film, and its star Irene performed them both during the live broadcast of '81. And to cap it off, the song Fame took the top prize at the Academy Awards ceremony that night. And then the ball kept rolling when Fame wiped out its competition and won a Grammy, a Golden Globe, a People's Choice, and the Billboard Top Pop Singles Award. Irene was even singled out of the ensemble cast and was nominated for Best Actress in a Musical or comedy at the 1981 Golden Globes and also received a nod for Best New Artist and Best Pop Female at the Grammys. Fame had been a good thing for this relatively unknown artist.
Well, the thing with the film that was really special, I think, was that it wasn't really a lot of professional showbiz kids being portrayed in this movie. The movie really was, I mean, genuinely, the students from 3 schools, Performing Arts, Music and Arts, and Juilliard. Yeah. Those are the big, artistic schools in the city of New York. Yeah. And that's what the movie really focused on. There were times when Ellen Parker, our director, our English director, who was very smart to just keep the camera rolling and just capture us and just our natural activity, you know. A lot of it wasn't... that added to the realness of what you saw on the screen, because I was the only one who really didn't go to the school. Myself, Barry Miller, and a few of the other leads, who hadn't gone to the school. Everybody else, even of the leads, were students from that school.
In the spring of '81, NBC executives decided to capitalize on the film's success and set out to create a weekly drama based on the motion picture. The first person they approached to star in the TV version was none other than Irene Cara. She declined, unfortunately, being offered much more lucrative opportunities at that time. She thought reprising the role of Coco would be a hindrance to her skyrocketing career. The role was then given to a look-alike actress, Erica Gimple, and original cast members Debbie Allen, Jean Anthony Ray, Lee Carreri, and others joined with great success. Irene, however, had just signed a deal for a potential television show of her very own, a sitcom simply titled Irene. She shot the pilot episode, which aired in the summer of '81. The story was about an aspiring singer working as a waitress in New York with 2 roommates.
Can't you see she's upset? I believed them, and they ate my rent. I'm upset, too. We're all friends. We live under the same roof. We share expenses. How much of the rent do they eat? $47.26. Deducted from my paycheck. We'll manage. We'll go home. We'll go over the budget. We'll do a cost analysis. Cut out the fat. You'll pick up Chinese. Irene is down. She needs some fun. Budgets can be fun. You poor girl. Fun isn't budgets. Fun is laughter. Fun is life. Fun is that gorgeous guy who's getting up and leaving. Go get him, Irene. It's my table. He's working out on me. Hey, yo, stop. Yo, where do you think you're going, scuzzball?
To the men's room.
Yeah, well, you have to pay your check.
To go to the bathroom? I'll be right back.
Yeah, I've heard that before. You're going to tell me you're...
I'm a forward for the New York Knicks.
Yeah, and I'm Jane Fonda. I have to pay my rent.
You know, you have got to be the rudest waitress I have ever met.
Yeah, well, in the Big Apple, nice waitresses finished last.
It also starred Julia Duffy, who years later hit it big, co-starring in The Bob Newhart Show, and an unknown comedic actor named Keenan Ivory Wayans, universally known for box office hits like I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka, and the Scary Movie sequels, making his network television debut. Even though the half-hour sitcom had all that raw talent and star power, NBC decided not to pick it up for their new full schedule. Irene then returned to the stage to tour with the Tony Award-winning Broadway musical Ain't Misbehavin' with Nell Carter, the hit play based on the life of jazz great Fats Waller. After the show ended its run, Irene kept going strong and replaced an ailing Stephanie Mills as Dorothy in The Wiz during its run in Milwaukee in the summer of 1981. By now, Irene was already signed to a contract with RSO Records to record her first album. But Al Corey, who was president at the time, decided to leave RSO and start a record label of his own, Network Records. He persuaded Irene to follow him and record on his new label. Under Corey's influence, Irene recorded her debut album, over which she was given much of the creative control, a decision that would later be considered unwise. Some industry experts felt a more seasoned producer would have been